And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semi-finals or semi-finals here of the Sparkling Tuna Cup. Sparkling Tuna Cup number 122. Yeah, it's been an intense tournament so far, and we've made it here to our top 4. Oh boy. We made it to the top 4 here. We're waiting for Nick, Rat, and ByuN to wrap up the series, and we have our top 4 players here, and we're jumping in, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness. We have the South Green Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the other South Green Terran. We have the Blue Terran representing himself. Currently teamless, it is Percival. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as you get into our TvT. And jumping into this, it's going to be an interesting one. ByuN is favored, of course. He's got a lot of accolades. He's got a lot of hype around him, of course. He's a veteran player. Percival, his rise is more recent, but we have been seeing Percival defeat ByuN on a more and more regular basis as of late. I would still say that ByuN is favored, but I would not be surprised if Percival claims the game, or if even Percival claims a series. Oh boy, it's happened before in recent weeks, multiple times. We'll see if it happens again. Let's go. Of course, TvT can be hyper aggressive. It can be just hyper aggressive and very unforgiving. The last series was non-stop all-ins, and proxies are definitely a common part of TvT, not gonna lie. But in general, coming into the mid-game, aggression is favored, and it can be quite difficult keeping up with your opponent's movement, getting eyes on drop play, getting eyes on rotations, and keeping up with the army of your opponent in TvT. But let's go. Let us go. For the time being, we do have an economic opener at a ByuN, economic opener at a Percival. Racks expand, racks expand. No one is going double gas. So far, mirrored builds. For the most part, we do see that ByuN does delay his second gas in favor of a factory. We see that Percival does go for a faster second gas geyser himself, so there is a slight variation here in terms of build. Due to this, Percival is actually making a second Reaper. Okay, so second Reaper from Percival. Meanwhile, ByuN is being greedier by skipping out on said Reaper and going into Marine and teching up instead. So faster tech out of ByuN, less map control as a result of that. Ooh, as Percival shoots first. Oh. Percival does shoot first. ByuN has to pull out. ByuN does have said Marine. SCV's under fire. Percival, he barely does not get the SCV though. Doesn't take down the worker. And ByuN does hold. ByuN's holding on. Again, building up more bio. Percival is behind tech-wise here. Going for a very fast CC though. Yeah, Jesus. Insanely fast RTC out of Percival to catch up. Gonna be zoned out of the bases and barely does get away. But again, a very fast expansion out of our Terran player. Meanwhile, ByuN back at home going for a standard 1-1-1. ByuN was cutting corners and his tech is faster, that is true. But upon confirming this, Percival, he reacts with a faster CC to try to get ahead economically and make up for his earlier losses. Okay, let's try to make up for it. Now, just because Percival's third base is faster doesn't mean he will land it. Trying to land your third base on location can be very, very difficult, especially if your opponent is aggressive. Speaking of aggression here, the mining is denied at the natural base. The mule does try to get away, does pull away. But a waste of a mule. One SCV goes down, losing one, losing two SCVs. Again, Percival, he was across the map. Nice round, but again, he's punished. He's punished for his move out. Losing two SCVs, checking ByuN's vision. Did he see the third CC? He did. Big scout for ByuN, he knows. And that will prompt ByuN to be aggressive. Going into Banshees. Banshees are on the way. ByuN catching up with his own third CC. And it's going to be all about ByuN getting more economic damage and even delaying the third base of his opponent. We'll see if he can. We'll see. Percival does try to break through. The Cyclone has arrived. The Cyclone should defend, should hold. Again, Cyclone arrives just in time. I believe Percival did not confirm the tech in the main. Yeah, he's not fully aware, so he's unaware of the Banshee. Banshee's coming, no cloak. Get a very light commitment into harassing Banshees. Percival landing his third base immediately. He's going for the third. Banshee gets spotted. Percival's in position. Cyclone as well, and detection if need be. And so far, this Banshee has not been worth it. West scan confirming that it's going to be bio, of course, not mech. Extra Raxes, upgrades, Timbers on the way. Disable as well for the Raven. But coming into the mid game, I'm preferring Percival's position here. He's got extra mules, he's got extra SCV production. Making 3 SCVs at a time. Building up his bio, snipes the Banshee as well. Very strong start here for Percival. The Banshee does nothing. A bit of a supply block does slow Percival down, but now he's gained map control. Defends and claims his third base, moves out across the map, and now suddenly it's going to be difficult for ByuN to expand. Oh. Calm down. Gotta be careful. As Percival does dip in. Dipping in towards the main. Throws down the auto turret, zones away the army, even sniping the Cyclone. Yeah, Cyclone goes down, mining is denied, getting 2 SCVs. Same time, Percival going for the dive. Getting on top of the tank goes down, massive pickup. Takes down the tank, Hellion survive, then go into the mineral line, and SCVs are falling as well. This is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. Getting up to 6 SCV kills. Getting one more volley up, getting up to 11. 11 SCVs go down, one more volley. Oh, 12. 12 SCV kills, and ByuN, he's down in workers, he's down in bases. His opponent, of course, freely mining on a 3-base economy. Percival just getting further ahead. Stim is finishing up as well, getting into faster upgrades, faster 1-1. And what can ByuN do? I mean, it's just looking rough. It's looking very, very rough. Now, ByuN could capitalize on mistakes. If Percival overextends with these drops and he throws his drops away, then maybe ByuN can recover. But there's a lot of pressure on ByuN, and ByuN doesn't really have much to work with. He does have energy on the Ravens. He can disable, of course. He's moving out. As he moves out, Percival's moving in. Here we go. Double jump into the main. Double jump into the main base. Tank does siege, forcing a cancel. Rough defense here for ByuN. ByuN, he will lose everything in the main. And we're going to make something happen. As ByuN will lose everything in the main base. ByuN is all in. He's pushing up the ramp. It's all or nothing. He can disable tanks. ByuN does have interference matrix. And either he kills Percival or he dies trying. Here comes the disables. Gets one, gets two. At the same time, there's the anti-armor missile. The missile goes off. Nice tank shots. Big tank blows on the army. Vikings force to land. GG gets called. ByuN cannot break through, and Percival takes game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Percival does take a lead in the series. Again, just a very rough start there for ByuN. ByuN initially went for the greedier build, but Percival, he countered that with his own greed, with his own faster third CC, building up into a greater economy, but not just that, able to achieve so much damage across the map as well with his Cyclone Hellion. He was able to distract in the main base with his Ravens, of course, dragged ByuN out of position, and then dealt critical damage. 12 SCV kills was insane damage at the natural, and likewise was just able to capitalize on the main base as well, still getting more value, still getting more damage. GG. ByuN was torn apart. He was torn apart, partially also because of the early game. It wasn't just that Percival had a stronger economy, but also, if you remember, ByuN, he went for a 1-1-1 into Banshee. The Banshee got 0 damage done as well. That was a big investment that otherwise could have been, say, a tech lab on the factory, or earlier Ravens, or earlier Cyclone play. It could have been something else, something more efficient, but GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Terran player, the South Korean Terran. It leading the series 1-0. It is Percival. Here we go. So yeah, getting into our TvT, getting into Tourmaline, a much smaller map. Aggression is favored here as well, and we'll see how our players will adapt. Remember, last game it was an economic opener, but ByuN, he was cutting extra corners and taking up a little bit faster. Once Percival saw that, he responded with a faster third CC. You could maybe argue that maybe because of the faster third base, ByuN thought that Percival was going to be more passive and more defensive, but that was not the case. Oh, as Percival does go for a double gas opener. Okay, double gas opener, that means a faster factory. This would have been almost a hard counter to ByuN going for a proxy. I mean, ByuN is behind in the series, it's only a best of 3. So Percival playing very safe. Very, very safe here. We can see that ByuN is not proxying, and now Percival will confirm the SCV scout. Here we go. Workers, they move out across the map. SCV scouts are not very common in TvT, but seeing that worker moving out should allow Percival to know that there is no proxy. Blocking the command center. ByuN has got 400 minerals. Big delay. Yeah, big delay here. Jesus, as we had an excess of 130 minerals there for ByuN. So big delay from Percival. Nice start already. Nice little start. ByuN, he was able to confirm the... Oh, no, he didn't get into the main. Didn't quite get in. ByuN's not fully aware. For all ByuN knows, it could be the same build, except Percival could have a CC on the high ground. So for now, we're just calming down. Safety bunker here by ByuN. ByuN once again only making a single Reaper. One Reaper into Marine production. Into the follow-up. Meanwhile, Percival has a much faster starport because of the faster factory. So factory into starport, a tech lab is on the way. From here, we can go into an early cyclone, or we can go into an add-on swap. But it does look like early cyclone. Starport's on the way for ByuN. Cyclone in production for Percival. So building up into the early game. Now we saw how lackluster the Banshee was for ByuN in game number 1, so I can't imagine we'll go for one here. Tech Lab now finishing up for ByuN. We do see Raven production for Percival. No Banshee. No Banshees. As we have a much more tame start. And now, because of the earlier starport and earlier Raven production, does mean Percival will have an excess of energy to work with. This can lead into auto-start harass, or even into a more aggressive move with said Ravens. Bear that in mind. This build also allows for earlier tank production, so we have the first tank on the way for Percival. ByuN has none. ByuN's advantage is the greater economy. As you can see, he's up in workers. Not as far ahead as he would have liked to have been, but he's still up in workers. As he now starts his own tank. Do you see Percival moving out to scout with his Raven? ByuN staying in the center. Both players, they throw down their third CCs. Raven moves in, and Percival can delay the third. Oh, not bad. SV goes down, delays the expansion. Shouldn't force a cancel, but delays nonetheless. Also confirms that his opponent is, of course, expanding. Nice catch out of ByuN, getting us over the Cyclone. Cyclone does not get away. No, well, I spoke too soon. What? The 8 HP Cyclone. He gets away, Pappy. Ay, ay, ay. One shot away from going down. I miscalculated the math. So it does get away with 8 HP. Nice save there by Percival. He gets out. Does get out behind this, building up into our eBays, upgrades, getting to the mid game. And we'll see who's the first to expand and who can maintain their 3 base economy. Percival's a beast, he's underestimated. I would not say he's underestimated by ByuN. As I mentioned in the beginning of the series, we have seen Percival defeat ByuN quite regularly in these tournaments. Like ByuN, he's lost to Percival like 2 or 3 times in the past month. Like it's But I will say that that of course general audiences are not necessarily aware of how good Percival's TvT has gotten recently. But he has improved quite a bit, quite a lot over the past year. But here we go. ByuN is pushing. Does get spotted. It does get spotted. It's going to be about the Ravens. About the disables. Percival heals up one of the Ravens. Again, it's 3 versus 2. ByuN trying to zone away with his Vikings. Oof. Tank bullet goes off. Nice disable. The first tank is going to go down. Up. It does fall. Nice pick off there by ByuN. But now the Ravens, they don't have energy for another disable. He has to keep it in. Yeah, he does keep it in. Stims on forward, getting himself with the tanks, and Percival, he would completely shut this down. Yeah, cleans up all 3 tanks. ByuN, he overextends. Ay. As you mentioned, ByuN, he was maybe a little bit too careless or a little bit too trigger happy with those auto turrets. Without them, he could not protect his tanks. And ByuN is on the run. He's on the run. He's racing back home. Percival rallying across the map. He knows he has momentum. And look at how much energy he has left on the Ravens. That's crazy. He has so many auto turrets. Yeah, the turrets are thrown down, dominates the ground, and with that, Percival, he's going for the kill. He's going for the throats. Once again, though, maybe a little bit too chaotic with those auto turrets. Barely doesn't break through. There's 1 tank left. Still has a little bit of energy left over. He has 1 disable. Doesn't want to throw those Ravens away. As the tanks are slowly pushing forward. ByuN has got 1 Raven himself. Third base is denied, and Percival fully saturated. Full 3-way saturation. That's what matters here. Even if Percival doesn't kill ByuN, even if he doesn't break the natural, what's important is the economy. ByuN milling as much as he can, does throw it at the turrets. Percival is going for it. He's going for the dive. He doesn't need to. Yeah, Percival, he does not need to dive here. Does get 1 of the tanks. Pulls away. He still trades well. Percival, he trades well overall. The boys are being pulled. GG gets called, and Percival, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Percival. He will claim the series. He will claim the series. He will advance on. A strong showing here by Percival. Again, hyper aggression. And as we try to emphasize, not the first time that he's beaten ByuN in recent weeks. He has been looking more dominant over ByuN, specifically in TvT. GG, well played. Percival does claim the series, does advance on into the grand finals. And does he have an opponent waiting for him? Let's find out. Let us find out, baby. Let's go.